Ancestors of the Lemurian Civilization. How do you meet them? By Elvira Divina Fernandes. Have you ever thought that everything is happening to you today in relation to your past and future ancestors? During the day, as in your dream, the series of events taking place, is it related in some way to our ancestors, both past and future? Have you thought about the possibility that you are connecting with all of them? The more we work in our vibration, in our energy, and attain higher frequencies, the more we are connecting with the energies of the past and the future. We call it the past and the future, but once we go beyond our three-dimensional human mind, we have no more linear ways of measuring things. In other words, there is no time and space, as we understand in 3D, which is our linear world. So this is our transition to where only quantum physics will be able to explain itself. Many historical data and information tells us that we are from the Lemurian and Atlantis civilization. We are in a moment of remembrance. Like having a meeting with old friends after long years of separation, returning to catch up with our conversations and remembering old times like here in our lifetime today. As well as finding friends from our childhood after many years and many separate journeys to go to a different school, different career destination for many years, and then coming back at some point to share our stories and remember our adventures of the old days. Based on my research and messages I receive from my higher self, this is part of the process of remembering where we came from before we were born here at this lifetime to claim our high powers that are our treasures and which are in our records of Akash, our memories and past experiences, which is in our time today. We need not remember everything, nor remember, if we so choose. All this to move forward our evolution. Let's stick around with our Lemuria ancestors. Just as, and in the same way, we can find data by means of ancestral tree, let us remember that here we are considering that it is possible to reach data far from what we have done before. At some point, historical records will not provide us with any further data recorded. So, we are limited in our ability and means to remember. That's true. In case there is no more data available, registered, this would be the end of the line for us. And if we look back and see how things have evolved in the same way, with or without evidence, is it possible that what is missing is only physical and tangible evidence? Well, if we analyze from this point of view, we can conclude that the only thing that was in stagnation was the way to access everything. And we certainly have a lot to do with this story. But then let's get back on track and focus on the idea of access. As we mentioned before, it is all about our energy, frequency, and vibration. Once we work on it, we can access the information we need to expand ourselves to move forward. Where and how to do it? We go to our own library, for everything we learn is recorded in higher dimensions, beyond the ego and the human mind. We are not just human beings. We are energy, we are spirit, high intelligence, and we are living squeezed in our human 3D body. Thus, as we expand, elevate our vibration, we connect with our higher aspects and we can bring knowledge and wisdom to our 3D mind and act accordingly, and this process takes place in various ways through our creativity. I like this new way of living. Yes, I tell you this way of living, because when I experiment I know it's true, and I do not depend on others, then, I believe. I just feel like this is true. It is a fact that seems complicated, but it ends up being simple when it comes to us. I am still learning to deal with all this, and the more that happens, the greater the feeling that I know nothing and want to delve deeper. However, it is fascinating, as an endless learning movement. This transcends the ego of the human mind that is no longer in control. And you feel waking up from the dream time that you weigh nothing, many things seem to be so different. Well, then you recognize that it comes from you, from your way of perceiving everything around you. Of course, there is a lot of work at home to do once you've already taken that as a serious thing. I just feel and trust that everything is a kind of preparation for something much bigger and more unknown to me that is coming. I will try to explain as much as I can describing my last night trip, which I had already experienced somewhat in a state of meditation with a group of colleagues. This is the side incredible of this, what comes from above, when you are on the trail of light, you can feel how it is guided and protected at every step and journey. What fascinates me most about this state, since it cannot be explained based on time and space, it is this infinite benevolence that cannot be described. Regardless of being a person who always sees the good and bright side of everything, who feels love from everyone around always, and who trusts in the care of his loved ones. Always a feeling of benevolence never felt before. If I close my eyes now, I see the shape of my energy again. It's like the shape of a transparent, golden dolphin swimming around, without human vision. It's like a blind creature, and I felt in my human body the pressure on my face, with my eyes closed, trying to open it, but I could not. To swim alone, it seemed fast but serene, meeting other two similar species, like my description. However, to my knowledge, they are my son, like 4 years old, and his father holding him as if he were standing on humans, but there was nothing like our human appearance. They also had the same shape and color, and we communicate through feeling, and telepathically, through the heart, in the energy of love. That was last night. However, in my meditation about 3 months ago, I was swimming in the same environment and in the same type of shape/body/energy. This time I was swimming around something in the form of rock on the ocean floor, covered with something transparent like a dome, and my master told me that was where I would find my treasure, and explained that I was in my time in Lemuria. In this civilization where I once lived and learned a lot. Today in records about this civilization one finds that they lived in the water of the oceans and that they were extremely advanced in everything, including in conscience, love, and light. I would like to encourage you here to pay attention to your dream journeys. If you feel like doing your diary, you will not regret it. It will be even better for your practical exercise in how to use your brain in meditation, such as being awake and in full function, asleep, when you get into a state of rest deeper. It's all part of the awakening process we're going through, and that will help you better understand your journey in every way. That also brings you a lot of goodwill. I would say it helps us to find it within us. The benevolence that we are and have, and, in many times, we are not able to recognize it. Connect. You are, we are, love, light, and a breath of spirit trying to discover it. The more we open our hearts, the more we allow ourselves to enter it, this ability to grow in consciousness and pure love of the divinity that we are. We can give up our dark side of our soul, supported, and surrender to the love and benevolence of our light happily. Thank you for watching, sharing, commenting, and for subscribing. Much love and light always.